So, how's everybody doing today? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing Rahu in the 11th house of your Dashamsha chart. Okay, which is a divisional chart that shows your karma in the society. Simple as that. Which most of the time is career. It's the obligation to society you have, in this life. And I've just uploaded a two-part video on KRS vlogs of Secrets of Ascendance, and I'm going to be putting more next week. I think it's going to be probably like 6, 7, 8, 9 part series to really show you the essence of how to just understand ascendants without planets. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this particular position of Rahu in the 11th house, and along with all your astrological details, for that check out the links here, KRSastrology.com. Under shop section, you'll find my books, reports, consultations, and a link to my academy, Vedic Astrology Academy. You'll find KRS vlogs as well. So, when it comes to Rahu's position, and this is probably one of the best positions to have with Rahu. Due to the fact, originally, the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. Rahu co-rules the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius and the 11th house is the house of fulfillment of desires. And what have I said? Rahu is a bhoga karka. It wants to give you bhog. It wants to give you the food on the plate. Why? Because if you don't have food on the plate, you'll start to question things. You'll start to critically start thinking about things in life. Where ultimately, if a soul doesn't have food, it'll be like, God, take me away. I no longer want to come back in this body. And Rahu is like, no, I have to keep you in my realm so I can control over you here. Have the bow. Have the food. No matter what, here I'll give you whatever that is necessary for you to be satisfied. And 11th house in Dashamsha naturally represents the places that you work for, not bosses. See, work and bosses and how the environment is of the work is the 10th house and controlled by the 10th Lord. Like, for example, where I'm sitting right now is the work environment you see, right? You see these lights, you see that green color, you see this tech environment. That's my 10th house. But 11th house represents the organization, that I would work for, that you would work for. I work for KRSchannel, right? Where my wife is the boss. So, that's what 11th house is. And 11th house naturally shows that how you're going to gain your recognition through your work. Through this work environment, what happens? So obviously Rahu in Kama houses, the 3rd, 7th, and 11th house of Dashamsha especially, it gives ultimately the desired results. Sometimes it can give very early to, let's say, people like Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber. Some people get it on time in their adulthood. Some people get later in life. And obviously for that, you want to see, there's this technique given by Tamil Brahmins that I've shown in Vedic Astrology Simplified course of how to see planets just from Cancer or Leo ascendant. There's a way to see it. And then anytime Shani impacts the 2nd house from any of those ascendants, shows a person will gain things in their 30s. 32, 33 onwards, they will start to gain. So you can see, okay, this is when the recognition comes in for this individual. But the thing is here, because Rahu is in the 11th, it'll have its eye on the 3rd and 7th house. So 11th house Rahu shows that a person does very great with marketing, sales, communication, how to present something in a grand way. Any of the Kama houses for Rahu, the individual will be having a natural talent of how to make something look attractive. How to make the complicated look beautiful. And this is what they're going to use as part of their power, part of their talent to attract things towards them, especially in Dashamsha, clients towards them. So when Rahu is in the 11th house, even if you're a software engineer, if you're a lawyer, you should always be thinking about doing some type of a sales or marketing. Automatically, Rahu will entice you to do that. If you're a partner in law firm, you'll be like, you know, guys, like in your board meeting, you'll be like, you'll give actually suggestions and ideas like, why don't we put our billboard here? Why don't we advertise here? And why don't we advertise this way? Because then we can attract these clients because they have that natural vision of Rahu. How to make desires come true. And how to not make desires come true just from themselves. Make the desire come true for the client. What is it that the client is desiring for? I want to give that. That's what Rahu does in the 11th. Now, of course, if one planet could give a guaranteed success or guaranteed failure, I think astrology would just be, mastered in 1 day or 2 days. That's not how it works. Because now you have to look at what sign Rahu is placed in, where the dispositor is placed. Okay. What I'm saying, what is the soul essence of a planet? No matter how bad or good the dispositor of Rahu is, or how bad or good the Rahu is itself, a person is going to always strive for these things. And especially, like I said, in 11th house, it's co-ruled by Saturn and Rahu naturally. Doesn't matter if it's Rahu's in Taurus, Rahu's in Gemini, Rahu's in Cancer. Fine. But the foundation soul, and I've made this even in my satsang videos in 2020, 2021, that look at the original placement of who rules that. That's the foundation. So Rahu will feel comfortable with this particular position. And just because Rahu is in the 11th doesn't mean one finds recognition in a foreign lands. You'll find many people in their own homeland with Rahu in the 11th doing fine, finding recognition, or just doing the work. But here it really puts an emphasis on recognition of not just oneself, but of the brand. See, 11th house is the brand, right? Your 10th house is work, but now you're working for a brand called, let's say, Microsoft. It's a brand. This is where Rahu becomes grand. Okay. So anyway, guys, this is my analysis of Rahu in the 11th house of the Dashamsha chart. Remember, I've uploaded the video on Secrets of Ascendance on KRS Vlogs, which link is in the description section. Otherwise, we'll see you next time with our conjunction video. Bye-bye.